Has it ever happened with you that despite of being a subject matter expert, if you are asked to speak in front of a group of people, if you are asked to be the center of attraction, and suddenly you forget all that you have to express? You may have ample knowledge about your subject matter, but once you are called upon the stage, you start having butterflies in your stomach. It becomes blur in front of your eyes. Maybe your hands get numb, your legs start shaking, and suddenly everything becomes blank in front of you. Well, if this is the case with you, then it is surely the fear of public speaking. Hello viewers, I am Preeti Vachani and I welcome you all to Enriching Lives. And today I'm going to talk about a very important and a talked about topic, that's the fear of public speaking. Well, what is public speaking after all? It's just speaking in front of a group of people. Now that audience, it may be known to you or it may be an unknown audience. But the moment we are called to talk in front of a group of people, why is it that we start feeling so scared? We become so afraid of sharing our views, thoughts, opinions. Well, the number one reason could be the fear of being judged. Well, we as human beings never want to be evaluated on our performance. We never want that somebody should, evaluate us. And our mind is pretty clear about this fact that the moment you are going to open your mouth, people will start forming opinions about you. And that is what scares you. You do not want to receive those feedback maybe, or you are afraid of committing mistakes, right? We always want to portray a perfect picture of us. And because of this, our body language changes because we do not want to be judged. That is the reason number one. Number two reason is, since childhood, we are always habitual of writing down the examinations and then being evaluated. So mostly in the schools, the education system focuses on your writing skills. So you just go and write a paper on your exam date, and on the basis of your performance, your results are declared. Hardly would your teachers evaluate your performance on the basis of how do you speak in front of people. Well, that's how we have been brought up, right? That's our environment. And we become so habituated of those written assignments and evaluation process that it becomes, really difficult for us to accept these kind of speaking assessments. So it's something new and we always have a fear of unknown. This is something unknown to us. According to a survey, when people were asked to rate on what are the most common fears among them, so the number one fear that was stated was the fear of public speaking. And number two was the fear of death. Now this clearly means that people would rather prefer to die than speak in front of public. I mean, you could just understand the intensity of this fear that most people have, right? And it is not restricted to a particular field. You talk about any field, any domain area, okay? It is always there. Maybe, the degree may vary, but it is there. It is very much present inside all of us. So now the question arises, how can you improve your public speaking skills and how to overcome stage fear? Now the answer is very simple. The example that I gave you with respect to your evaluation during childhood. So how did you develop those writing skills? Well, that happened over a period of time. So right now, if I give you a paper which has got a set of questions and I ask you to write down the answers, it would be really easy for you. Why? Because you have developed a habit over a period of time to write down the answers. If you have the knowledge, you can easily write down the answers and score good marks. Similar is the case with public speaking as well. The more you start doing it, the more you would be able to develop habit, and then eventually you would become a good public speaker. Nobody is ever born an efficient public speaker, right? It's with practice and consistency that people develop these skills. Okay, you can develop any skill over a period of time by working religiously at it. This reminds me of a quote: do the thing that scares you, and the death of your fear is certain. Try to do one thing every day that scares you. So if public speaking is something that scares you, you need to do it every day till you really become good at it and you are no more scared of it. So right now, if I'm able to speak in front of you, I don't know how many people are going to watch it. It's like, speaking in front of a public. Well, yes, but then I developed it over a period of time. It's not that I was born with it. Okay, so you can overcome this fear by actually doing it. See, always remember, that's good to have knowledge about how to be a good public speaker, how do you formulate or construct your sentences, how to pronounce, what kind of body language you should have. So if you have knowledge about all these parameters, that's very good. But always remember, knowing how to do it and actually doing it are two different things. And here the key point is that you need to do it in order to improve it. Otherwise, it would be similar to a case wherein you want to be a national level swimmer, and in order to become a champion in swimming, you start reading a lot of books, and then you start learning a lot of new techniques. So people do tell you, this is the way you actually jump, this is the way you move your legs and hands, and this is how your body should move. Okay, now people will tell you, explain you, but tell me honestly, unless and until you actually start swimming, you actually jump into the water, are you really going to become a good swimmer? Well, the answer to this question is clearly a big no. So unless and until you jump into the waters and feel it, experience it, face the difficulties and the challenges that it inevitably throws at you, you are not going to master that. Similarly, if you want to become an effective public speaker, one thing that you need to keep in mind is you need to speak a lot. Okay, now how can you do it? You can start speaking in front of your friends. So ask them to sit like an audience in front of you and start sharing your knowledge, your experiences. Try sharing your views on any topic. Start it with the easiest topics, okay, so that you are able to talk and it becomes relatively easier for you because your confidence is boosted when the topic is relatively easier. Also, when you start practicing with a known audience, so you know your friends, you know your family members, so when you start practicing with them, you are at ease. That's really within your comfort zone. You are really not that much skeptical about what are they going to think about you. Are they really judging you? Okay, so you are really not scared about the evaluation process. And this is how you're able to speak confidently and you are able to express your views clearly to them. And the more you do it in front of them, the more your confidence increases, the more you become habituated, and then slowly and gradually you can try it out with an unknown audience as well. So whenever your teacher asks something, okay, you should be the first one to raise your hand if you know the answer. Try answering questions in your classrooms. Try explaining your project to your peers. Okay, so try to take that lead and be that person who takes initiative and try speaking out. Initially, you will face a lot of difficulties and challenges, but believe you me, once you start doing it, you actually develop a habit of doing it, and your fear gradually comes down. Okay, so it's not something that happens like a miracle, that one day you attend a session or a workshop on public speaking and the next day you become a powerful public speaker. No, it doesn't work in that way. It's a very gradual and a subtle process, and for that you need to take certain steps. You need to follow certain procedures. And if you do it sincerely, I'm sure you will definitely become an impressive public speaker. I hope you got the message clear, and if you liked it, do share it in your community. Also, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe my channel so that you always get the latest updates on all my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.